Good evening, everybody. This presentation is a trauma-informed group for survivors of domestic violence, empowerment through recovery. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Nicholas Garcia, and I'm pleased to present my group treatment plan. This plan is designed for adult survivors of domestic violence, mainly women between the ages of 25 and 45 who are transitioning from crisis or shelter settings towards emotional recovery and stability. The framework of this group interrogates trauma-informed care, empowerment theory, and cognitive behavioral therapy, ensuring the participants receive both psychological and emotional support. My goal is to demonstrate how these approaches promote healing, foster empowerment, and rebuild resilience for survivors of violence. Purpose of the group. The purpose of the group is to empower through recovery. Group aims to provide survivors with a safe and supportive environment where they can process their trauma, rebuild their confidence, and regain control of their lives. Most of the participants arrived in the group with anxiety, guilt, shame, low self-esteem, low self-worth due to years of abuse. I assist the participants to build coping strategies, self-awareness, and interpersonal trust throughout structure groups, activity, and by using trauma-informed methods. Every session strengthens the empowerment and mutual support, and the survivors can observe their own progress when they share their experience, strength, and hope. On the spiritual ground, I provide potential faith-based considerations of forgiveness, hope, and renewal to the individuals who may need these elements to offer a sense of purpose and strength in the healing process. Understanding group practices in social work utilizes collective interaction to support personal change and social functioning. As a facilitator, my role is to create a safe space that promotes open communication and mutual respect. Group work allows participants to recognize that healing is not a solitary process. Hearing others experiencing these things reduces isolation and strengthens identity. The model is especially successful in the case of trauma survivors since it makes their struggles normal and it needs peer validation and accountability. It also, it also facilitates emotional regulation, boundary setting, and empathy growth. Finally, group practice acquires one of the best strengths of social work, which is aiding individuals to seek healing within society. Theoretical framework guiding the group. The group draws on three interconnected theories: trauma-informed care, TCI, empowerment theory, empowerment theory, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Trauma-informed care emphasizes safety, trust, empowerment, and collaboration as essential conditions for recovery. This approach recognizes the survivors must regain control of their healing process. Empowerment theory complements this by encouraging participants to identify personal strengths and engage in self-determined activities. It changes the perspective of victimhood to agency. Lastly, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, offers cognitive skills to enable the participants to refute their distorted thinking styles like self blame or fear of independence. These frameworks are combined to provide philosophical and practical basis of all group interventions. Intervention strategies. The first component of intervention focuses on psychoeducation and CBT techniques. Survivors often blame themselves for the abuse they endured. Psychoeducation helps correct this by explaining trauma's psychological effects and clarifying that abuse is never the survivor's fault. I introduce CBT tools such as though records and reframing exercises exist, members document reoccurring negative beliefs and examine them critically. For example, when a participant says, "I should have left sooner," we collaboratively reframe it as, "I survived using the tools that I had at the time." This small but powerful cognitive shift helps survivors place shame with self-compassion, reinforcing their sense of worth and agency. Homework exercises between sessions also support long-term cognitive restructuring. Intervention strategies, empowerment, and mindfulness. The second component integrates empowerment activities and mindfulness-based practices. Empowerment works focuses on rediscovering strengths and autonomy. I use strengths mapping and self-affirmation exercises to help participants visualize their personal growth. Role play also plays a critical role towards reconstruction of interpersonal skills, especially assertiveness and boundary setting. Guiding imagery and grounding includes mindfulness practices that allow the survivor to deal with anxiety and rebuild a connection with his or her body. Integrity, often faith, is not compulsory but effective. The biblical consideration of endurance, recovery, and renewal included Isaiah 40, verse 31, are the reasons why spiritual resilience should promote. The survivors should understand that through their faith and their community, they can be reminded to revive and recover. This group allows Tuckman's 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. During the forming stage, members introduce themselves to begin and build trust. The storming stage may involve mild conflict as participants test boundaries and adjust to vulnerability. I address this with empathy and consistency. As cohesiveness develops in the norming and performing stages, members share more openly and support each other's growth. Finally, in a journeying stage, we focus on closure, reflection, and celebrating progress. Recognizing these phases helps me anticipate challenges and maintain safety throughout the group's evolution. Domestic violent groups present unique interpersonal dynamics. Emotional transference, peer bonding, and uneven participation are common. Some members may dominate discussions while others remain guarded due to past trauma. I pay close attention to these patterns and ensure balanced participation and fairness. The goal is to transform power imbalances and learning movements by modeling specific communication and empathy. Monitoring these dynamics also prevents re-traumatization and promotes equity within the group. Promoting justice from within the group means addressing both interpersonal fairness and systematic barriers. Survivors often face challenges related to housing, economic dependence, or legal access. I incorporate advocacy discussions connecting participants to local resources and legal support services. Justice also means ensuring that all members, regardless of race, class, or religion, feel valued. I also combine the NASW ethical principle of dignity and self determination. When I empower participants to make informed decisions regarding their healing journey, spiritually speaking, I am inspired by Mach 6, verse 8, that asks us to do right, love, and walk humbly. This promotes me to remember the fact that justice as a professional and moral duty. Faith and spirituality play a crucial role in the group's philosophy. Many survivors find hope though their relationship with God or higher power, through their relationship with God or a higher power. Incorporating spiritual reflection when appropriate helps participants find meaning in suffering and strengthen resilience. As a Christian social worker, I am guided by the belief that every individual is made in the image of God and deserves compassion, justice, and respect. These influence my relationships with the clients and my workmates because with empathy, humility, and unconditional regard, I am empowered to work through recovery as a healing ministry. By integrating trauma-informed care, empowering justice and faith, we will be able to provide a space where survivors could reclaim their dignity, recover the trust, and step into new beginnings with confidence. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your collaboration with you and other people implementing these group practices in our agency. Thank you.